Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for attending tonight. My name is Alicia Henriksen, and I help with the school admissions. And on behalf of our whole community of St. Gabriel, welcome, and thank you for entrusting your children to us. A couple of housekeeping items before we get started. If you could gather your grizzly, your little cub, because for the first couple of minutes, we have something special to share with them, and we'd like to welcome them too. If you have any questions, there's a chat box at the bottom screen that you can type your questions in. We may not get to questions this evening, but we will send you the answers to those questions probably by Friday with a recording of this Zoom meeting. So again, welcome to St. Gabriel School. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our wonderful principal of junior kindergarten to 4th grade, Mrs. Ann Ulrich.
How are you? It is so good to have you tonight. As Mrs. Henriksen said, I am Ann Ulrich. I serve as the principal for our preschool through 4th graders here at St. Gabriel School, and I am so excited to welcome you and your child to another year of learning and growing with Christ. So as we begin tonight, we're going to begin, as we do all things here at school, with our opening prayer. This is a prayer we pray every day, and I would love to introduce you to Timmy Calabrese, who is our Religious Affairs Officer. He will begin our night in prayer for us.
Good morning, St. Gabriel School. At this time, please stand for the morning prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. St. Gabriel the Archangel, you are God's special messenger. Help us to be God's special messenger too. In all that we think, say, and do, may it be a way of sharing God's will with others. St. Gabriel the Archangel, pray for us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Thank you. And Timmy is just one example of the many incredible leaders in faith that help to work in our school each and every day. We really count on our older students to be those leaders to our little grizzlies. And so now we're going to kick off. This is about you, little cubs. We have a special little treat to share a story with you as we start our night together.
Once upon a time, there were little cubs getting ready for school. Mama Bear read them this story to show them all the nice people that were going to help them be smart and successful little cubs. This is St. Gabriel School's Grizzly Cub, created just for our newest cubs. Grizzly Cub, who do you see? I see Mrs. Ulrich helping me. Mrs. Ulrich, who do you see? I see Mr. K helping me. Mr. K, who do you see?
I see Father Fred helping me.
Father Fred, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Sicker helping me.
Mrs. Sicker, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Rossiter helping me.
Mrs. Rossiter, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Rusnak helping me.
Mrs. Rusnak, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Pahalski helping me.
Mrs. Pahalski, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Slowey helping me.
Mrs. Slowey, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Silvestro helping me.
Mrs. Silvestro, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Keith helping me.
Mrs. Keith, who do you see?
I see Miss Myers helping me.
Miss Myers, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Shaloub helping me.
Mrs. Shaloub, who do you see?
I see Miss Boucher helping me.
Miss Boucher, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Karpushka helping me.
Mrs. Karpushka, who do you see?
I see Senora Candela helping me.
Senora Candela, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Horn helping me.
Mrs. Horn, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Steggy helping me.
Mrs. Steggy, who do you see?
I see Mrs. Detour looking at me.
Mrs. Detour, who do you see?
I see Jesus helping us.
Jesus, who do you see? I see grizzlies helping me make the world a better place to be. The end.
The heart of God, go into the world and share God's spirit, spread the message, a song, save a little bit and pass it on. Be the hands, the heart of God, go into the world and share God's spirit, spread the message, be the song, save a little bit and pass it on. Sons and daughters, peace before you. Sisters, brothers, peace behind you. Peace around you, one and all. Save a little bit and pass it on. Be the hands, the heart of God. Go into the world and share God's spirit.
So thank you. So boys and girls, these are just some of the people at our school who are so excited to welcome you and who are going to help you have the best year ever. And now for your core team, I'd like to introduce you, our amazing junior kindergarten team. We have Mrs. Cheryl Sicker. Mrs. Sicker, you want to say hello to everyone?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so excited to start our year, and I just can't wait.
And then we have Mrs. Christine Rusnick. Mrs. Rusnick, you want to say hello? I think she might be muted. Let's get back to her. All right, I'm going to, okay, there's Mrs. Rusnick waving. We might be having a little technical difficulty. I'm going to move on to Mrs. Resitar, who teaches alongside Mrs. Sicker.
Hi, boys and girls. Hi, parents. Looking forward to meeting you all. It's going to be a great year.
And last but not least, we have Mrs. Carla Pahalski. Mrs. Pahalski, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hi, everybody. I cannot wait to meet all of you. It's going to be such an exciting year. You're going to love St. Gabriel.
And that is your core team. And moms and dads, I cannot say enough about this group of teachers. You are putting your kids in the best, most loving hands ever. And you're going to see it. And I think you're going to want to take them with you at the end of the year. So thank you, boys and girls. At this time, I think we're going to let you go off and have some fun, and then we're going to continue our meeting with the moms and dads. So we love you, boys and girls, and we can't wait to see you real soon. Have a good night. All right, so we're going to go ahead. Obviously, this is our first ever virtual orientation meeting, and we're just so sad that we've missed a number of opportunities to welcome you here in person. But we're really excited about all that our new year has for us, and hopeful, and we just feel just overwhelming joy at just even the thought of having our Grizzlies back here with us. So we're going to kind of walk through an overview of the upcoming year. And as Mrs. Henriksen said, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If we don't address them throughout the presentation, we definitely will be getting back to you. So as you know from our communications in the SMORE, the first thing that's going to look different this year is that Grizzly morning checkup. So we're really counting on our parents to help start our day in a really strong way. As you know, families are required to start each day with a quick and easy at-home assessment. This is due so that we can make sure any potential symptoms that we might see that represent the COVID-19, we want to catch that early in the day to just make sure we keep all of our Grizzlies as healthy as possible. So the first thing we'll be taking a temperature. It is required that you take your child's temperature each day. And again, we are looking if the temperature is 100 degrees or higher, the requirement is that your student must stay home. And then different from years in past, for this year only, we are asking, the mandate is that students would have to stay home for a minimum of 3 days and be checked out by a healthcare provider. Second is going through that symptom analysis. So again, it's not just a temperature, but just double checking with your little cub to see if they have a cough, sore throat, any of the other symptoms that are on our list. Again, if you see any of these symptoms, we are counting on you to keep your child home for that day. Reach out to your healthcare provider just to ensure that they're healthy to come back into our school community. And then if your child has been in direct contact in the last 14 days with someone who's been diagnosed with the COVID-19, we need to be notified of that. The student must stay home until the school officials have been notified, and we can provide further individualized guidance. We have been in contact with Lake County Health District, and they've kind of walked us through. They will be taking it on a case-by-case basis and giving us the directives on how to respond from that point forward. So obviously, communication is going to be huge this year and on your end. And we're really proud of the partnership we have with our parents, and we know that everyone's going to do their best to ensure that we have a safe upcoming school year. All right, so the day begins, arrival and dismissal plans. Obviously, our number one thing, we always say that we're raising, our goal is to form students who are leaders in faith, who are respectful, responsible, grateful, and most importantly, safe. So with that safety first in mind, we ask that you fill out the form that was emailed today. It just went home today. There are 3 forms that need to be signed and returned to us here at school. And then our first day only, we'll start with our drop-off. We're going to have the forms that went home. We need to know if your plans are for your child to be a car rider or if they will be riding a bus. But for first day only, for sure, for the junior kindergartners, you'll all be car riders. And we're asking that you make note, we're changing things up a little bit. We're going to have a special Grizzly hug zone, which we've kind of become a new tradition here, but it'll look a little different. So we're going to do a staggered start on the first day of school just to ensure that we are giving extra special attention and time to our youngest Grizzlies. So we are asking Mrs. Sicker's class to arrive at 9, and then we will have Mrs. Rusnick's class. Those students will come at 9:30. We are going to have you pull in, and there'll be people outside to assist you. We'll pull up to our Brady Hall doors, also known as our NPR doors, door A4, so the second set of doors as you pull in. And there you'll be greeted by your child's teachers and the classroom aides. Mr. K and myself will be out there. We'll help your child out of the car. We'll allow you to do your little Grizzly hug zone outside, and then the teachers will take your child into the Brady Hall, where there's going to be a special activity going on for your child. All right, so we've been talking about first day jitter tips. This is a source that we've reached out to, and it's really, really important. We know every year the start of the new school year is a special time, but it also can be a time that's filled with a little bit of anxiety. And we know especially this year, all of us have been away for quite some time. So we're really mindful of that, and we're asking you to help us with a couple of our routines. And the first thing is just that, how important a routine is. So we ask that at least a week before school starts, so starting next Monday, but feel free to start it now, start getting into the routine of a bedtime and waking up in the morning at a reasonable time. The idea is to get their little bodies yapping around the time that the school schedule will follow. We encourage you to read as many books as you can about the start of the school year, a new school year, because it just helps the kids just have some experiences to reflect back on. There's so many children's books out there that help talk about maybe the little butterflies in their stomachs, the nervousness, but yet how in the end it really works out well. We encourage you to put a picture in your lunchbox or backpack and maybe tell your child that, gosh, if you're anxious or missing me at some point in the time, you can go take a peek in your lunchbox, maybe tape it inside in their lunch bag or put it in their backpack. We really encourage you, if you're at all able, to come up to our school and let the kids play on the playground. It's a great opportunity for them to kind of get acclimated to our environment, to see where they're going to go to recess for a number of times, talk about how this is a special space where they'll be meeting their new classmates and friends, and just starting to create some positive associations with our school space here. And of course, be positive, be positive. I know as a mom, boy, those waterworks, they seem, the older I get, the easier they turn on. But we know that our children really look to us. And if we're positive and upbeat, they will be too. If they see us emotional, that's going to increase their anxiety and they're going to become more emotional too. Obviously, easier said than done. And I'm speaking from experience. Be as strong and to see, yes, I'm going to miss you, but I'm going to see you very soon. I would encourage you to make a little play date or something special on that first day. And maybe you could talk to them. It's a special secret that when you pick them up, there's something special you're going to do on day one that they have to look forward to. But again, when they hear you reaffirm, like, Susie, you got this. You are such a big girl. You're going to have a great day and mommy can't wait to meet you. Or Billy, I am so proud of how you got up this morning. It's going to be a great year. That positive affirmation is going to give them confidence. And it's also going to help you be able to check your emotions a little bit better too. So we really, really need you to help us on that. The other thing is, it says make a quick exit. This cannot be underscored enough. Again, I know from my own experience, it's hard, our natural mom vibe and dad vibe when our child starts crying is to reach out to them and to comfort them. In this situation, what makes it easiest is if you give them a quick, affirming, big hug, I love you, I'll be back soon, and then really just turn and go. Get back in the car. I promise you that our teachers have so much experience in working with us and do such a great job of quickly getting your child distracted and into a positive routine right from the start, where really out of sight is out of mind. So again, if you see us on that first day going, our cueing is going to be kind of like, it's going to be okay, or tell daddy, you'll see him real soon. That's kind of our inside cue that we really need you to go and to trust us. And then homeroom teachers are also going to share with you some of their ideas on August 28th when you have your one-on-one teacher orientation with your particular teacher and classroom assistant. They're going to give you some of their other tricks of the trade that have helped. But what we hope for tonight is that you start having those conversations with your child, maybe even when you incorporate it into their bedtime prayers. Thank you, Jesus, for the great summer. We can't wait for the new school year, and I know you're going to be with us, Jesus, and keep my mom and dad close in my heart, or just something really positive. All those little tricks of the trade go a long way. All right, so car riders for the morning arrival. Right now, our plan is it's going to look very similar to how it has in the past. We do anticipate that we're going to have more car riders this year with some of the changes due to the COVID. So that's really important that you fill out that survey we sent home, especially if you have older children. Right now, we plan on having just our typical routine like we did last year, where you will pull in the main entranceway, you'll drive past the front door, you'll see there will be cones set up, and the first couple weeks we have a lot of people outside, including our maintenance team, who will help direct cars and answer any questions you may have. But basically, the route is going to be just to go around the back of the school. We will have teachers out back lined up, and they will help your little grizzly get out of the car. Kids have to get out on the right-hand side. You'll see we have kind of a yellow pathway, if you will, of safety, that as soon as they hop out, the teachers help them out with their bags and belongings, get them situated. So start saying goodbye as you pull around. And again, that positive affirmation, like, I am so excited to hear about what a great first day you're going to have, so that when they get out, if they cry and they seem a little teary-eyed, again, please just be really very reassuring to them as they climb out of the car, and the teachers will kind of take it from there. And also, this happens all year long. So just know there'll be teachers inside as soon as the child is walked in, who will then be walking them down as a group to the different homerooms. So they will never be left unattended to walk anywhere in that building hallway. That's really important that you know that. Our junior kindergarten and our kindergarten classrooms, one of the reasons we have them in different uniforms is because our whole school community really watches out for them. So we know when we see those little red shirts come out that all hands on deck, and we help escort them right to their classrooms. So they'll never be unattended.
Mrs. Ulrich?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I think one point we should have on here too is that it's best if the child's sitting on the passenger side.
Oh.
They should sit on the passenger side.
Yes, good point. So in my mind, I'm envisioning you pull behind the building. I'm saying on the right-hand side of your car. They do have to get out on the passenger side. So if you already have them buckled in on that side, it really expedites the process. For those of you who might be first-time parents, you'll see that you'll have people outside directing you. And basically, when we pull up behind, we can unload like 8 cars at a time. They'll direct you to pull all the way up to this side. And then we stop like 8 cars at a time. We unload all 8. And then we signal you to, once your child's out, you can start to pull out. And then we welcome another shift in. It's a very well-oiled machine, but we really need everybody to be very vigilant, especially as you're driving, to watch very carefully as we help the little ones out. Then our dismissal procedure is going to look a lot different this year. So in the past, if you, again, have had older children, we have car riders typically report to a classroom. We call bus riders first and dismiss them. That procedure will look very similar to what it has in years past. But at the end of the day, when we do our car riders, each classroom teacher is going to stay with their group of students. So a big emphasis all year long will be and keeping students in their cars with the same teacher. So at the end, after all the bus riders have been called, our junior kindergarten students will then come down with their classroom teachers, and they'll be lined up in the gym. Each family is going to be given 2 numbered placards. So every family is going to have a family number. So you could imagine my family might be number 17. And I'm going to have in my windshield a laminated card. We'll be giving each family 2 of them. They'll place that placard in the right-hand side, again, the passenger side of their car, up on the dashboard. So at dismissal, you'll wait in the parking lot like we have in the past. Once all the buses have dismissed, again, we'll have people out there to usher and show you, and we'll start a car line that'll pull behind the building similarly as it does in the morning. Then we'll pull cars up, and then we have radio, so teachers will say, okay, we have family 17, 4, 6, and 8. And again, a teacher will walk your child to your car at dismissal and help the children get into the car. And again, this change is due to the fact that we can't have adults in the building. So a lot more communication will come out as we continue to get closer. If in fact we see we do have a number of families and that might be not the most efficient way to have one car ride lying around the door, we may end up having two, but we're waiting to get that head count first, and then we'll update you as needed. All right, snack, water, and lunch. Lunches for junior K will be, students have always eaten in their classroom. It's worked really well. They eat with their teachers in the classroom. That will continue again this year. Any snacks, every day the students will have a morning snack. We provide the snacks for them, and they will be individually packaged snacks. Water bottles will be needed, so send your little one in with a water bottle, and we ask that there's no glass, that is leak-proof and labeled. Important that we have it labeled. And if you can do some more practice, you can tell there's a theme here this upcoming 2 weeks, a lot of practicing for school. Have them practice opening and closing their water bottle. Obviously, the teachers in the rooms will assist as needed, but again, the more independent we can help them become, the better. Lunch is also packed. We will not be offering a hot lunch this year. And we do have our water fountains will be replaced by bottle filling stations. And if needed, the classroom teachers will help the little ones with that. Nap time. Okay, so on Mondays, it's kind of like our mini version of college move-in day. So the little ones come with their backpack, and then we are asking you that each student will bring a child-sized blanket, and a small stuffed animal and a small pillow. So don't bring the quilt, their favorite quilt from home, but if they have a special blankie, again, this is for nap time. The cots are disinfected, all those safety protocols. We did have a walkthrough of our building, and they spent a lot of time in our preschool classrooms, and we got raving reviews about our process and the rooms. So just know that your child will be kept in the utmost care all year long. So Mondays especially, it's kind of an all hands on deck with drop off in the morning, because I know one of my favorite memories is you open a car door and sometimes it's like the backpack arrives first as the little one comes out, and then you lift it up and you're like, oh, and Mary's here too. So they do bring that little bag in, and we ask that it's a zipped bag. It can be one of those recycled bags you get from the stores, that are like $1 that zip close, but help them tuck in their favorite blankie, their favorite stuffed animal, a pillow. Those come in each day when they take their nap. They'll have their 3 items with them. At the end of nap, the teachers will help them tuck it back in and zip their bag back up, and it'll stay in the room. And then on Fridays, they bring home their laundry to mom and dad, and they come home on Fridays to be washed. So it's a routine. It is a sight to behold, watching the little ones take such pride and do such a nice job of navigating that each week. All right, clinic information. So this year, we will have a full-time health aide. We have increased the hours for that. So in the past, it was an 8 to 2:30. Now we will have the health aide in our building at 7:15 till 3:15. We also have an RN who oversees our building procedures, and she will be present at the start of the year just to ensure all of our routines and procedures are in place. We have our clinic, which is the same clinic it's always been. And then in addition this year, we're adding what we call our extra care clinic. And that would be a space that will be reserved only if a child presents with any symptoms related to COVID. So basically the new routines are very different. No one even enters the clinic without the nurse taking their temperature first and foremost. Again, if a child presents with a temperature, we assume it's COVID until proven otherwise. So we take all the necessary precautions. So then Mr. K and I will be helping to man the extra care clinic. The first thing you can expect is a call home. It's really important that your emergency cards and information have your contact number information as well as some additional people, because obviously our priority would be that we will isolate the child until a parent or a guardian or someone on their approved list can get here to pick them up. So that'll look a little differently. We are talking about our health care for this year, and there's 4 basic points that we really focused on during our walkthrough. And it's kind of a 4-pronged system. The first is the masks. All students, all teachers will wear masks all the time from the minute they come into the building to the minute they leave. Temperatures are checked prior to entering the building each day, and they too are expected to take their temperature at home each day. The masks are worn by every adult that works in this community, and they will stay on all day. If the teacher is working in close proximity for an extended period of time, they may even wear a mask and a shield. For our little ones, our preschool students, masks are mandatory anytime we're traveling and in areas where we're with other students. So if we're taking a bathroom break, their masks will be on. When we travel in the halls for any reason, they would have them on. In the classroom, you know, every parent has an option if they want their child to wear it. There would not be an issue with that. When they're in the classrooms, because of their age and the recommendations at this point, the child would not have to have a mask in their environment and their setting. The social distancing is the second requirement, so we're being really mindful of wearing the mask. The 3 to 6 feet minimum social distancing. We're in great shape in our preschool classrooms because social distancing, as far as their desks and the space, is not an issue at all. We're able to keep the kids 6 feet apart. We know as a preschool, the main focus of working with the little kids is sharing and taking turns. So that's part of the government regulations that's giving us a little bit more leeway there so the children would be able to interact with one another in their specific cohort. Hand health is going to be a huge part of every child's experience here at St. Gabriel. So every building, classroom, or room that you enter, you will find a hand sanitation station already listed. We're all going to pretend we're PhDs this year, and every time we enter a room, we hand sanitize. Every time we walk out of a room, we hand sanitize. Every time before we enter a restroom, we do it. We use the restroom, we wash our hands at the sink, and then we hand sanitize again when we leave. So that we're calling it hand health is going to be a big focus of everything we do, including with our little ones. And then the 4th one, the sanitation procedures, is really a big area with the preschool. Part of the reason we have the 2 full instructional aides there with your team teachers, that'll be their job. The students, when possible, will have their own supplies, so they'll have their own little art cubbies and whatnot on each desk. So those all the time, they'll have individual sets. For some of the toys and things that they'll be sharing, again, before it's time to play with the toy, they'll hand sanitize like it's time to come to carpet for playtime. The kids will all hand sanitize, they'll come play. Just by doing that extra step, that will help eliminate the spread of any virus, not just the COVID-19. And then again, when they're done playing, the kids will hand sanitize again before going back to their seats. The classroom teachers will do a sanitation at the end of the day of the materials used, and then our entire school will be cleaned by our maintenance at the end of our school days with our we are fortunate to have the Clorox 360 electrostatic machine, which will come in and disinfect the entire classroom spaces and materials at the end of each day. So we feel real confident. We had a great walkthrough with UH hospitals, and we feel really prepared in those areas. So it'll be hard for us. A big change will be not having adults in the building. And again, I mean, a huge part of our community is just that, our community and being together and helping one another out. So we know this year is going to have a little different feel to it. But we encourage you to please stay involved as much as you can with your child through their teacher. We're going to try to continue to look for different ways to communicate in new ways, since we won't have all the face-to-face interactions. And one of those ways, because we can't do our typical back to year, come in and drop your things off, meet your teacher, for our junior K, we have special visits planned from your teacher with surprises. So our teachers are super excited. Mrs. Henriksen's been working really hard in marketing, and they plan on coming by your home next Thursday, August 27th. The window is going to be between 8 a.m. and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can expect a ding dong on your doorbell being rung, and your teacher will be there masked and ready to just say hello and introduce, and they have a special welcome gift for your child. So if for some reason you know for sure you will not be around that day at all, please reach out through email to your classroom teacher, and we will see what we can do. But we would love to have an in-person, real quick, Grizzly welcome by the teacher to your child. And if you could keep it a surprise, it would probably be even more fun for your child. So that's it for our presentation tonight. We're going to end how we do the end of our school day. So as you can see, prayer is the essence of all that we do. So at the end of our school day, and your child will learn both the opening and closing prayer. And I'm always in awe how quickly our preschoolers learn these prayers. We'll end with our prayer by two more of our leaders here, Nicholas and Megan Detour.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Oh, Heavenly Father, we thank you for our food today, and we remember the hungry. We thank you for our health, and we remember the sick. We thank you for our friends, and we remember the lonely. May these remembrances stir us to service. Saint Gabriel the Archangel, keep us safe as we travel home. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
All right. So thank you again for joining us. We are so excited to get started. Again, don't forget, on Friday, August 28th, we will have our teacher independent meetings with you, another opportunity for teachers to meet the new students. And this meeting will be recorded. Again, if you have put any questions or anything you have specific, please put it in the chat if you haven't done so yet. And we will be getting those answers back to you. So we look forward to seeing you on the 27th with the special teacher visits. And I sure hope you enjoy this beautiful weather. It looks like we're going to have a great week to kind of do our last summer hurrahs with our kids. So thank you guys for joining us, and I hope you have a great night.